updates for July 2nd on what's going on up in the Sierra, specifically the John Muir Trail and some of the PCT. So we've had some really hot weather here in California. We had a really hot spell a couple weeks ago, and there was a really scary transitional period in the Sierra where the snow bridges melted out and we got really hot weather, and the streams just were overflowing their banks, and it was actually super dangerous at that time frame. So I heard some stories about some hikers even being trapped because they couldn't get across streams and couldn't get back. But good news for people wanting to get out. It appears that our streams are peaking up there. The southern streams, at least for sure, is the only ones I have confirmation on. Streams like Evolution, Silver Creek, Bear Creek, or those are kind of the hard ones. There's been some little creeks have actually been hard. Mott Creek's another one, Mono Creek. Those ones have been tough, but those have peaked in the last couple of days. That doesn't mean things couldn't change with some thunderstorms or some real hot weather. There's still a lot of snow up there. So the good news is people are getting through now. The latest from Vermilion Valley Resort is about 15 to 20 PCTers are coming through a day, and a lot of they're just starting to get a few southbound JMTers. Not many, only I think they just got their first couple. So those guys are really having some struggles. So be aware. I'm going to give you a video to watch that these PCTers that you're going to see if you do some searching on YouTube. They're posting some videos out there for some good info. Those guys have walked 600 miles, and they're in really good shape. So you guys doing the JMT are going to be, you start right out the bat with a horrible slog out of Happy Isles up to Tuolumne Meadows. That's actually really tough. So hikers are coming through. It's still dangerous as hell up there. So if you're starting like in the next few days, you're still going to have terrible conditions. Snow travel is not fun, but it's going to get better. And the latest on the stream conditions is Evolution's passable. Oh, the video I mentioned. I want you to watch a YouTube video. Google a guy named Mitch Lennington. He just posted a couple videos from a couple days ago. He just hit Mammoth. He did a video from Kearsarge to Mammoth. So there's some really good info on there. But again, like I said, him and his group have been hiking for a long way, and they're 19 years old. Me, I'm not going to be up in the Sierra. I'll be at the beach for the next month. I'll get up there in August. But for you people dead set on doing it, it's starting to get safer. The intel coming in on the stream crossing is Evolution's up to shin deep, so you better be tall, and that's the upper one, not about a half a mile, quarter mile up from the regular crossing. Bear Creek, Bear River is uncrossable at the normal trail crossing. Hikers are going about a mile upstream where it forks off into 2 or 3 forks and crossing there, and it's still very dangerous up there. So it's not easy right now, but people are getting through. That means there's probably a boot track to follow. Navigation is still going to be super tough. So you bring your GPSs, your maps. Just because there's a boot track doesn't mean you're following the right boot track. So I've read a couple of stories about people bailing coming up out of Happy Isles to Tuolumne Meadows because they're getting they're hiking all day, going 5 miles. Route finding, sloppy snow conditions, things are kind of a mess. If you watch the video of that Mitch guy, what's funny is he talked about Kearsarge being one of the most dangerous passes he'd been on, and I always think of Kearsarge as being a pretty easy pass, but now when you think about it, it's got this big run out, and I think the section he shows is above Pothole Lake, and you'd fall right in the lake. But a report came out from Strider, from the Mount Williamson Resort, that the conditions are better up there now in the last week. There's a good boot track now all the way up. And snow is melting, but there's tons of it. I mean, Mirror Pass is about an 8-mile snow to snow to get over the pass. You're going to be on snow for at least 8 miles, probably more. And it's getting sloppy and slushy. You're still probably going to benefit from micro spikes in the morning. You got to be aware of crossing passes when it's when the snow is harder. So that means hitting the passes in the morning. It's kind of like summer travel where you got to get over the passes when there's thunderstorms. You want to get over them early. With snow, it's the same way. You want to get them over early because you hit that snow and it's soft. You're going to post hole. It's miserable. So plan your time where you're not going to make good time. You're going to be route finding. Trail crews haven't been out yet. There can be tree falls everywhere, and the trails can be a mess, and that takes longer. So it's just hard conditions. So past mid-July, it should start getting better. The trail crews should start getting out, and the streams should continue to go down. So there's so much snow up there. Squaw Valley is going to be open on 4th of July for skiing. So roads are just opening up. Tioga Pass Road just opened a couple of days ago, 3 or 4 days ago, I believe. And that doesn't mean everything's open, but you can get up there now. You can stash a resupply in the bear lockers up there. The ranger station, the wilderness office is open, but all the other services aren't open yet. There's still snow on the ground. Reds Meadow Road into Reds Meadow and Devil's Postpile is still closed. I guess that road's having some repair problems. They're not sure when they're going to open that. So if you're going to access one of those trailheads, they did just open it to traffic, not traffic, but foot traffic and bicycle traffic. So hopefully they'll be opening that soon. There is another big development for you people accessing the east side trailheads. Rush Creek, which is one I've talked about, is going around the Donahue permit, the 40-day permit over Donahue. I've recommended Rush Creek as a way of still getting a lot of the JMT. They have closed the Rush Creek trailhead with no opening time frame. The geologists and the hydrologists up there have figured out that the dams, there's some dams up there, Wall Lake is one of them, are not safe. There's so much water, and there's some evidence of some kind of faulting and earthquake hazards. They could fail. So they're keeping that whole area closed. So if you have a Rush Creek permit, you're going to need to call up the Inyo National Forest Ranger Station, which is the Mammoth Ranger Station is the one you're going to want to call. I'm not sure what the workaround is on that. Cottonwood Pass is open with not too many problems. And I heard a report that New Army Pass has as usual in the spring, has a big cornice at the top. But you can go around it if you just go up the Cirque Peak if you're going up the pass, you go to the left and kind of work your way up a talus field to go up that way. But you northbounders coming up from Cottonwood and Horseshoe Meadows, you should be fine. You can get in there now. But please be really careful, everybody. Some of these little stream crossings still can be really dangerous. So don't take any chances. Again, remember, wait for early in the morning if you can't get across the stream when you hit it in the afternoon and it's too high. Wait for help from other people and know what you're doing. Some of the other things, I saw some pictures from Paiute Pass out of North Lake. A lot of people access the Sierra that way. That's a pretty good pass to get into, and there's still a few feet of snow up around the pass. Easy pass, good access. That gets you into the JMT right above MTR. So that looks like a good access route. You guys who had Rush Creek permits, you could probably go into Agnew Meadows, but you can't drive to the trailhead right now, but you can walk in. Onion Valley Trailhead, which is where Kearsarge is. The road's almost plowed all the way to the end of the trail, but I think it's short, about a quarter mile. You have to walk in, and the Forest Service has put some bear boxes there as far as you can drive, so you have access to bear boxes. So that's a common resupply point. So if you're going out in the next couple days, couple weeks, you'll be able to get in and out of Onion Valley too. So it's starting to clear up. Be safe. And just be forewarned that if you're going, or if you insist on going now in the next couple of weeks, it's going to be tough, and it's going to be an adventure. It's going to be beautiful. There's going to be water everywhere. It's going to be awesome. One last thing, obviously there's going to be a ton of mosquitoes. So deal with it, get a head net. I've been hiking my whole life in the Sierras, and I've breathed up my share of mosquitoes. It's part of life in the Sierra. They're always going to be there, and you just got to be prepared for them. So bring your repellents and head nets and gloves and things like that. But the good thing about mosquitoes is when they're out in forest, that means the wildflowers are going to be out in forest too. It's going to be a spectacular wildflower year with all this water. So you just got to take the good with the bad with the good. It's going to be a good year out there, but be safe. Check the latest conditions. Call up the ranger stations. The Wilderness Permit Office in Yosemite is a good source. Inyo National Forest, you can call them and check the online resources. The JMT Yahoo groups is a great source. There's a Facebook group also, and YouTube PCT videos are still coming in. So check it out, have fun, and be safe. Thanks.